Do you know what one of the greatest things in board games is? Dice! What? Some people don't like dice? Guess what? You're wrong, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna show you my favorite games that involve these lovely things. But unfortunately, I have to do this first. At number 10, Tenzi. I was told by my family if I did not put this in the list somewhere, they would kick me out and make my life a living mess. So, Tenzi. The whole concept of Tenzi is you're rolling 10 dice and you're trying to get the same number on all 10 dice. You roll, hey, I'm gonna pick a 5. Pull the 5s out, roll the rest. More 5s, roll the rest. More 5s, all the way to 10. My family loves this game. This is probably not the most challenging game, but it is fun because my family wants to play. We have fun together. It gets silly. We steal each other's dice and throw them all over the place so the other person can't get the 10. That's probably not the spirit of the game, but that's what we do. At number 10, Tenzi. At number 9, we're gonna blast off into space in this solo adventure of Pulp Invasion! With Pulp Invasion, the main aspect is actually a bag building game. There are dice in it and they prove a key role to the game. Depending on who you are controlling, the dice do special abilities. Those abilities slowly wind down through the die. And at certain points of the game, you can re-roll the die and see where you get hopefully better roll or not. When you're playing the game, the higher the number, the better the ability is, and it winds down slowly, 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 and hopefully you do not run out because you will need them at the end of the game. That's why this game, even though it is a bag builder, the dice are very vital to the game. And that's why at number 9, Pulp Invasion. Number 8, I have a little nostalgia for because it is Back to the Future, Dice Through Time. Get it? Nostalgia because 80s, I bet it's a dice and it's not. With Back to the Future, Dice Through Time, you are going back through time and trying to fix all the inconsistencies that you've done with Doc Brown and Marty McFly. You have to go and find things. You have to go to the 1800s to get a skateboard from the 80s. You have to go to the 50s to find a gun from the 1800s. Back and forth, back and forth. You gotta travel forward in time, backwards in time, try to fix everything. You're gonna get stuck along the way. Biff is gonna get in your way, bother you. You're gonna have to punch him out of your space, move him other areas. This is a little fun game where randomness makes it what it is, because going through time, you're gonna cause chaos. That's why at number 8, Back to the Future, Dice in Time. You're probably sitting there judging me. Oh, railroad games don't have dice and they're awesome. Stock collecting and stuff and building railroad lines. That's your jam? Fine, but guess what? There's a railroad game at number 7, Railroad Inc. The pun is in the title. Railroad Inc. It is a roll and write. Ink, I-N-K, not I-N-C. Yeah, I know. What you're doing is you're rolling dice, drawing lines, trying to connect them, trying to get the most points as you can. It is a fun game. You're trying to build the best railroad line, best highways, use special abilities to connect them all, try to get as many points in the center as you can. It is a great little thinky puzzle. I throw this in my bag all the time so I can just randomly grab it. It's got a dry erase board and markers, which who does not love dry erase boards and markers? So that's why at number 7, Railroad Inc. Oh, with dice you can't change it up. They're the same every time because the dice never change. Well, guess what? Number 6 does that. Number 6 changes the dice because you're gonna be dice forging! Dice forging! In Dice Forge, you are going to try and get money and change the sides of the die. Yes, you are gonna change your die however you want, and you're trying to go and get heroic feats and score as many victory points as you can. There's different setups, there's different cards, you can mess around with it. It has got player interaction, you can bump players off, you can get them more rolls, you can steal their rolls. Dice Forge is a great game that kind of changed the way some people can look at dice and use dice. I think it's a mechanic that needs to be probably used more, but those special dice probably cost a pretty penny. But at number 6, Dice Forge, awesome. I recently picked up number 5 and it has fallen from the sky into my wonderful lap, blasting the living daylights out of other games. It is Under Fallen Skies. Under Fallen Skies is basically Space Invaders in board game form. You're rolling dice, trying to place them in special areas, trying to figure out the aliens' technology so you can blow them up. You're rolling dice, trying to place them in spots to help you out. You're either trying to get energy to power up your station, you're trying to get technology so you can figure out what these aliens are doing. You can even blow up the aliens. Sometimes there's robots. Robots! Your whole intent is to try and save Earth, save Roswell, save DC, save Havana, save all these places across the globe. It's even got a campaign mode. What more do you want from a game? The dice add so much to it. It makes you sit there and think, oh, I need a 6. I've only got a 3. Well, if I place this 2 white die, I can re-roll everything. Re-roll, yay, I got it. Or, no, the aliens are gonna win. Sometimes with randomness, that's what's great. Under Fallen Skies, number 5. I like a lot of solo board games. I have to play with myself a bunch. And this game actually kind of helped me set me on that path. It is Hostage Negotiator. With Hostage Negotiator, you're trying to save people from a crazy person. You're trying to negotiate with them to try to get people out of the buildings. You're trying to save as many people as you can. You're rolling dice to see if you can connect with the person you're on the phone with inside of the building. The dice rolling in this game can be brutal. I have lost on turn 3 before. The randomness is very high, but that is why this game is so great for me. Because basically you're on the phone with somebody, they can be crazy, you're gonna roll, that roll is them being crazy. They can agree with you or not, and that's what the dice do. It is a great feel of a game, it feels like you're in there, and when you lose, you feel horrible, and when you win, it's like a challenge and you're tired, and you have to go take a nap. Number 4, Hostage Negotiator. At number 3, we've got a great game, Fleet the Dice game. Now you're probably watched all my videos because I am that awesome and you watch all my videos. You're like, you have featured a ton of videos with Matt Riddle and Ben Pinchback. What's the deal? They just make good games. I really like their 2 games. That's why it's at number 3, folks. It's at number 3. They're not paying me to say any of this. I've not even met them. I talked to them online, but guess what? That's it. They're cool people. Deal with it. Stop bothering me. Leave me alone. Okay, I digress. Seriously, this is a great game. You're rolling dice. You're trying to catch fish. You're trying to get boats. You're trying to build a city. What more do you want? You roll the dice, you take the fish do special abilities, you're gonna get more gold, more coins, more buildings, more stuff. It is a fun roll and write that makes your brain hurt sometimes. It is Fleet the Dice game. Number 2 is a dream because it's Nautilion from the Oniverse. Get it? Because the Oniverse is about dreams. You're playing as basically a pirate or a guy on a ship. Either one, I don't care because I like pirates and that's what I'm gonna say it is. You're trying to beat a crew that's going to your island and you're trying to get to theirs. You're using dice to move any certain numbers and you're trying to pick up crew to fill up your ship along the way. The whole thing with this game is you're trying to go from one island to the other while another crew is going from the other island to your island. You're using the dice to move that many spaces. You have to give 1 to the ocean, 1 to you, or 1 to the other crew. The trick is trying to keep the other ship going slow without stealing numbers you need. You're trying to go to their island, they're trying to go to your island. You're using the dice to figure out how to do that. You don't want to go too fast, you don't want to go too slow. You're trying to keep a bunch of numbers, you're trying to collect them, fill up your ship with all the numbers. Extra crew, you get to use them to spin the dice to manipulate them. The other ship gets to the other island before you lose. If you get to the island before the other ship, but you don't have a full crew, you'll lose. It is a fun little puzzly game. The dice play a huge factor in it. Number 2, Nautilion. The number 1 game for me that has dice is the game that has all the dice. Sagrada. The whole game is you are making stained glass windows. You're drafting dice, rolling them out on the table, selecting dice, trying to create patterns and number combinations that cause your brain to want to explode. With your stained glass window, you're trying to not have the same colors next to each other or the same numbers. It is a puzzle, it'll hurt your brain, the dice play a giant factor in it. Plus, you never know what colors you're gonna get out of the bag. You could get the wrong colors and you're just like, no, I can't. It is a puzzle of a game. It has got me through the pandemic. It's got me through injuries. Sagrada is a fun, fast little game. I love it. That's why it's number 1. Those are the 10 games that I have that I absolutely love that have dice in them. Dice make games, they can break games. I understand some people don't like randomness, but guess what? Life is random. Might as well have some dice too. Tell me your list, what you think. Give me some suggestions. Hit those YouTube things you're supposed to do. I don't understand this. I'm weird. I don't know. I don't want to read about how to make things work. I do have that award, so I'm awesome. So tell me what your favorite dice games are. Boom.